security in this place is getting ridiculous. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening and welcome to the show. And here we go again. Same old stool, same ashtray, same dog ends. Thank God they didn't empty that. Oh, God, that's great. You know, a lot of people write in and ask me, say, why do I drink during the show? And is it because I need the drink to get through the show? And I can tell you here now, actually, the reason I drink is because it does, sitting here for 45 minutes, get very hot. There's a tremendous amount of lights. And the only reason I have the drink is basically to keep cool. I want to make it quite clear that I am not reliant on alcohol in any way to get me right through this. Get away from that! What do you think I get through the show? Well, yeah, I'm not the only person that drinks in this country. I read the other day that 900 million pounds worth of booze is drank in this country. And that means there's somebody else at it. You know that the word whiskey is derived from an old Gaelic word, ishkaba, which means water of life. And that water of life has been the cause of more people dying and being buried in the bloody ground than anything. I was in a bar in Dublin about 3 months ago, and I got my drink, and the fellow says to me, "You're Dave Allen, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." He said, when you drank your drink, you can go. And I said, have you seen the television shows? He said, "I have." I said, "Have I offended you?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, what are you talking about? When I drank my drink, I can go." He said, "We're not open yet." The other fellow walking down the road, there's a funeral going by, and he goes up to the little drunk and he says, "Who's dead?" And he says, "The one in front." The other fellow walks in, and right now. And says, I love one of your big meat pies. One of those big meat pies. And the fellow brings him over a lovely big meat pie, plunks it down, and says, "Would you like it sliced, sir?" He said, "Certainly I'd like it sliced." He said, "Into 4 or 6? He said, 4. I couldn't eat 6. I get down to 2 fellows in the bar and he said, "Did you hear about Charlie? Charlie got sent to prison." Did he? What for? He said he was putting Green Shield stamps in his insurance card. Really? What did he get? He said 3 years and an electric kettle. You get the other 2 fellows playing golf, and one says, he said, I have discovered what I am doing wrong in golf. I am standing too near to the ball before I hit it. And the other fellow says, I think you're standing too near after you hit it. There's a story about an old fellow at home in Ireland who every morning would leap on his horse and he would ride to the pub and he would be there. First thing, as the fellow opened the door, he would be standing on the pub doorstep. Every morning he would gallop like a bat out of hell on his horse. And all his friends got together one day and he said, "We'll wait for him in the lane." And they pull a big branch down from a tree and they hold it down across the lane. And he comes galloping down like... comes round the corner The horse goes under the branch catches him right in the belly. Boom, he goes, and they let go, and up he goes, right up to the tree. Boom! Shoo! The fellow opens the bar at the door, comes out, stands there, and he says, "My God, he's not there. 30 years I've been opening the bar, and he's always standing there." And he looks up in the tree, and he sees him. And he says, "What are you doing up the tree?" He said, "I fell off me horse." The aim of any comedian is to be completely original and different. And consequently, any television show that he does, the aim is to be original and different. And tonight, we aim to be completely original and different, in so much as that we have no intentions of being original or different. The whole secret of modern warfare, Carruthers, is always to be one jump ahead of the enemy.
Yes, sir.
I fear we might be too late, Watson.
Yes, Holmes.
No!
Oh, my God, Holmes, what is it?
It's a poison dart,
Moriarty, Holmes.
tipped with a deadly poison. I have but 10 seconds to live, Watson, unless you do something.
Oh, fear not, Holmes. I'll handle it.
That's it. Suck hard, chap. Get all the poison out. Thank you, Watson. He was a good chap.
My Lord Hamlet doth walk late tonight, Marcellus.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night. List, list, oh list!
Father!
List, Hamlet, oh list! Sleeping within mine orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed heaven in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears did pour the leprous distilment.
O host of heaven, help me to avenge this foul and most unnatural murder. What must I do? Father! What must I do? Father! What must I do?
Rodriguez, the greatest escaper of them all. 14 times you have faced the firing squad, and 14 times you have walked away to tell the tale. But this time, I have a foolproof plan. This time, we cannot miss. Do you have any last requests? Prepare to fire! Take aim! Fire!
Anything else, milady?
No. Thank you, James. That will be all.
Thank you, milady.
Oh, thank you, James.
Good night, milady.
Good night.
Nice to see that old fellow again. Somebody once said to an old man, "Tell me, sir, what do you attribute your extreme old age?" He said, I attribute my extreme old age to the fact that I haven't died yet. And the other one, he said, "Do you still smoke, sir?" I said, "Yes, I smoke. I smoke about 40 cigarettes a day." He said, "And drink?" He said, "Oh, yes." He said, "I always like my little drinking with my food. I like wine, I like brandy and port, whiskey, yes. I do." He said, "Do you still chase young ladies?" He said, "Of course I do. I can't remember why, but I do." Anyhow, let's go from some old characters to some old, new characters.
I, King Canute, command you to go back! Go back!
Keep up British passport! Yes. Keep up British passport!
Captain Hardy, sir. Do you think the Admiral will live?
I'm not sure, but stand by to signal any development of the fleet. I have arranged to fire one cannon, should my Lord Nelson recover, but 2 shots if he should die.
Look, sir! The Admiral's reviving! He's getting better!
Hooray! Well done, sir. Permission to signal the good news to the fleet.
Carry on, Hardy.
Aye, aye, sir. Fire one! Fire 2 or 3.
Cyrano de Bergerac, the finest swordsman in Europe, in his final resting place.
Oui, but it is nearly time for the procession. David, monsieur?
Oh, d'accord. Voilà.
À moi, doucement, doucement.
Un peu doucement.
Ça.
Comme ça, comme ça, comme ça.
Oui.
Ah, voilà. Mais pourquoi?
Les noces,
Oh,
le nez.
ah oui, un moment.
À vous. Oui,
Merci. Ah, voilà.
comme ça.
Oh, voilà.
Bravo, bravo, à moi, à moi. Comme ça. Ah, ça marche, ça marche.
Ah oui.
Voilà.
Oh,
Voilà.
oh, oh.
Oh, oh, oh.
Doucement.
Oh. Hey.
I said to King Arthur, the finest quality of any knight is chivalry. Quality of chivalry is everything to a knight.
My liege!
A damsel in distress! Chivalry!
There is something we've been accused of in this show is that we lack the romantic touch. And that's rather difficult when you're 8 yards away from the audience. But who needs romance? I mean, the most famous romantic figure in history is Casanova. And look what happened to him. He died of old age at the age of 25. And there's a tremendous amount of rubbish written about romance, especially in ladies' magazines. I looked into his steely gray eyes. They had that haunted, lost, little boy look. I knew that he yearned for me with every fiber of his being. I closed my eyes. I knew the moment had come. I felt his hot breath on my lips. His strong arms encircled me and drew me close. I felt his heart close to mine. That's impossible. I mean, if you're standing in front of somebody, the heart has got to be on the other side. This puff is standing behind her. Either that or he's hanging upside down from the ceiling. That's a thought. $107. Will you take that rubbish away, please? Romance, love, it's based on sexual lust. Example, you get a young man who meets a young lady at the debutante's ball. He said, you don't know me. But my name is Fortescue Robinson Smythe. And I have a reputation of being one of the fastest lovers in the whole of England. I'm terribly fast. And I've taken a fancy to you, little dolly girl. And I'm going to seduce you. She said, will I enjoy it? He said, didn't you? But perhaps the greatest writers of romantic stories in English literature were the Bronte sisters. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we take great pleasure in presenting to you our version of Emily Bronte's classic story, Wuthering Heights.
Oh, Kathy. Oh, Kathy. You're not Kathy. Does it make any difference?
There are certain ways to introduce certain items. And on the other hand, there are certain ways not to introduce certain items. And you're probably wondering what that all means about the items that I'm about to introduce. Nothing.
Oh, good morning, madam. We're doing a survey on violence and the ordinary citizen. I wonder if you could tell me, if you were attacked, could you defend yourself? Yes or no?
Now, before we start the fight on flat today, me proud beauties, I wonder how many of you spotted the deliberate error in yesterday's exercise?
Well, I didn't. Go on.
Yes. That is a very large cavity.
Religion. It plays a very important part of our life. I mean, where would we be without religion? As far as this show is concerned, we'd have a big empty gap in the middle. All I can say is thank God for God. People say, is it right to laugh at religion? Of course it's right to laugh at religion, as long as it's not your own. The great thing about religion is that most Jewish people have the ability to laugh at themselves, most Protestant people have the ability to laugh at themselves, and most Catholic people have the ability. And I will demonstrate it in gags. I'll try. The Yiddish fellow goes to the rabbi and he said, I have committed a great sin against God. And the rabbi said, what is the sin? He said, well, after the war, I took into my house and gave him sanctuary, a member of the SS. And the rabbi said, you gave sanctuary to a member of the SS? He said, yes. And he said, what's more, I've committed a worse sin. He said, worse sin in the eyes of God you could commit? He said, yes. I charged him £25 a week. And he said, what is more, I have committed a worse sin than that. He said, a worse sin than that? What is that? He said, I have not told him the war is over. We get the vicar in the pulpit And he said, I shall open this good book. I shall open this good book. And as he says that, two dogs run into the church, a black dog and a white dog. Right down the nave, and they start to fight. He said, I shall open this good book. The whole congregation are all going. He said, I shall close this good book, and I shall open another one and give 6-4 on the black dog. You get the Catholic nun. He's our God, he's not yours. And she's got a terrible habit of saying bloody. She always walks around and says, look at this bloody floor. And I'm sick of this bloody water and bloody bread. It's bloody enough to make you bloody fed up with the whole bloody thing. And all the other nuns are slightly peeved by this, and they get together and they decide between themselves that the next time she swears, they will all walk out and leave her and hope that the message will get through. And they're all sitting in the dining room one day, and she walks in and she says, the bloody American fleet's arrived. And they all get up and they walk out. And she said, there's no need to rush, they're here for a bloody week. You didn't like it? Religion really is like life. It's funny when you least expect it. Take me to Lambeth Palace, fast. Now this morning, I am going to talk about sin. How many people think that you can only commit a sin by the physical action? But I will tell you that the thought of committing a sin is equally offensive in the eyes of God. The thought of sin is equally as sinful as action. What I am trying to say is that you don't have to actually commit the sin. All you've got to do is think about... would you excuse me?
For I had sinned, I had gained, very, very wicked. I had my way with beautiful blondes. I had gained goozing and swearing, and I'm very, very sorry. Go home, dear. Get your fruit and the half an hour there. Thanks, mate. Tell the vicar we made 20 quid already, all right? Thank you. There we are, now. Here's a lovely basket of fruit. Now,
The fellow goes to the Harvest Festival and walks down the aisle like this. and stands in front of the vicar. And the vicar said, yes, what can I do? He said, I brought you this melon. You know, the sad thing about life is death. And we in Ireland, we don't actually celebrate somebody who's dying, but we have a party. We have a wake, what we call a wake. The fellows laid out, the candles are brought out, the booze, and it's dum-dum. It's the best way to look at it. And you get the two fellows who've been to the friend's wake, and they're walking home, and one says to the other, he says, you know, I'd give £1,000 to know the exact spot I'm going to die in. And the other fellow said, what would you do that for? He said, I wouldn't go there. Because the other fellow was dying. And all his life, he's managed to save up 50 quid. And the doctor says to him, he said, I'll need 25 quid to clear up the bill for all the calls, the medicine and everything else. And he takes 25 quid. And the priest said, I'll need the other 25 for the funeral, the flowers, the mass. And the fellow says, there's one thing, Father. Before I die, would you write to me, Mother, and tell her that I died like the good Lord? And the priest says, how do you mean that? He said, between two thieves. I get the other fellow dying, and the priest says to him, do you renounce the devil and all his teachings? And he said, to be all honest, sir, I don't think this is the right time to be making enemies. You get the other fellow walking through a graveyard, and there's a drunk draped across this gravestone, saying, why did you die? Oh, why did you die? Was it your mother? Go away, why did you die? Your father? No, go away. Your brother? He was my wife's first husband. Just goes to prove, actually, that death is like religion. It's all right laughing at it, as long as it's not your own.
Corporal Smith, before this court-martial sentences you, do you have anything to say in your defense?
Excuse me, sir.
Anything to report?
Yes, sir. The enemy are using blasted cannonballs.
Right here. The men are going down like ninepins.
Now, sir, are you sure you want to go through with this? The Count is the best shot in the country. He always gets his man right in the middle of the forehead.
No, I've got to go through with it.
Right, gentlemen. Walk 10 paces, turn and fire. Now.
I think I've done it at last, Jenkins. Yeah, it's taken me 20 years, but at last, I've done it. Oh.
But, Professor, what will you call it?
What do you think of arsenic?
I enjoyed shooting him. It's not often I tell gags about salesmen. A story about two salesmen who get lost in the Yorkshire moors in the fog. The car breaks down, and they get out, and they're miles from anywhere. And they walk. And they eventually come to a cottage. And they knock on the door, and a rather attractive young lady opens the door. And they explain the situation. And she said, I have only one bed, spare bed in my house. One of you can have it, and the other will have to sleep on the sofa. And that is the end of that. Until 9 months later, two salesmen meet in a bar. And one turns to the other, he said, Humphrey, he said, do you remember that night we got lost in the Yorkshire moors? He said, yes, Roger, I do. He said, you know how we tramped in the fog and we eventually found that house with that rather attractive young lady? He said, yes. He said, and she said she had one spare bed and a sofa, and I slept on the sofa, and you had the spare bed. He said, yes. He said, did you by any chance get up during the night? He said, yes, as a matter of fact, I did. He said, did you by any chance go into that young lady's room? He said, yes. He said, did you make love to her? He said, as a matter of fact, yes, I did. He said, did you give her my name? And address? He said, well, yes, it's something I thought I would, but I never really got around to. He said, well, thank you very much. She's died and left me £5,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the last item of the show, which is rather sad. Not sad for you, sad for me, because it means that I am 1 week closer to being out of work. Who's going to buy the booze then? And what a better way to end the show than with the traditional farewell to the Highland chieftain.
Will you shut your noise? It's enough to weaken the dead.
Good night. Thank you, and may your God go with you.